We're
Oh,
back. We're back with another episode, you guys. Welcome to S.A.D Film Club, your favorite film and pop culture podcast, where we talk about movies and costume design and actors and things that we've been watching and things that we've been listening to, and just like a hangout sesh. Yeah. Hi, Shannon, Annie.
word.
What's up?
I'm the
Hello,
S. I'm the S, Shannon.
I'm the A Annie.
And I'm the D, Dominique, and we are Six Out Film Club. And today we are doing Beetlejuice and Beetlejuice.
Yeah. And
Oh my
I
God, you said
definitely
it three
think
times.
I think there's gonna be a third one with, the three.
Wait,
Beetlejuice.
really?
I think that's the only reason you do Beetlejuice, right?
I
Yeah,
literally had not thought of that.
I don't know. That's
Hmm.
just a thought.
I mean, in the world that we're living in and the reboot era of, trilogies and things and next chapters, I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. There, of course, there's going to be Beetlejuice 3.
Do
Mhm. Mhm.
do y'all agree that like we're getting so many remakes and sequels and prequels because Gen X is running things now in Hollywood?
I
I
think
feel
it's
like that's a
Um,
very 80s thing, right? Remake.
yeah, I think only a few things get greenlit that people want to put their money into. Um, So they want to put it into stuff that's already been done, even though other people want to tell new stories, guys. Make it happen.
I think it's all capitalism because it's like that like investing in certain properties and names and things that have been done before is going to be like a definite, return on your investment. So I think that has the most to do with it. I think people like to talk it up of like, oh, nostalgia. The people just want more. The people just want to see where these characters are now and where the story went. But it's like we can use our imagination. Like we want
Yeah.
new stories and we don't need everything to be rebooted. We don't need everything to be redone. We don't need everything to have a sequel or a third. Not everything needs to be a trilogy, but here we are.
They haven't touched ET, and I wonder if it's because he's ugly. I
Well,
don't know.
we've
Oh
rebooted some
my
ugly things before.
And I really like ET, but they just haven't touched him at all. Yeah, but you're right. Other uglier things have happened.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I wonder how that aged. Like, I haven't seen that since I was a kid.
Yeah. I mean, Super 8 is kind of the same story, but
Mm.
specifically ET, they haven't redone that one. But yeah, we're here to talk about Beetlejuice. And Annie, you look really sickening. You look giving
So
me
do
Grace Jones.
y'all.
Give me Grace Jones, actually.
Really? Wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
You should give us a Deo later.
A what?
A Deo, like a performance of Deo.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, since we're
He wanted to go to Jamaica, Alec Baldwin, his
uh,
character. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yes, in the beginning, and they're
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
it's
Let's
crazy
see.
how he used to be
Oh,
because
sorry.
he was cute and a
He
cute
was
little.
so hot. No, he was so hot. That's his peak hotness.
Yeah.
He he was, and he was kind of. So I meant to tell you guys this before before we started recording, but I did the photos a little differently this time. It's not huge, but
Okay.
I like
Okay.
did more like what we see them in the movie versus like on the red carpet photos.
Okay. I
And
like that.
he was definitely the inspo for that because like yeah, he is really attractive in this movie.
Oh, what?
Aging is a thing, Mr. Baldwin. It's okay.
Yeah, it's like young Leo, young Leonardo.
Right?
It was different. I don't know.
Yeah.
Less
Uh,
chin.
wait, you guys didn't do your director's claps.
I did mine when I said
Oh,
A Annie. Do we want to?
oh, my bad.
Why is it
Beetlejuice.
blurry? Why is
We are.
it blurry? Oh, there we go. Beetlejuice. Ready, Shannon?
Oh. Striking.
Speed
Um,
sound. Okay. Should we just jump right into?
yes, and just FYI, listeners, we did review this on our other podcast, Girls Interrupted. So we will link that. I have no idea what we said. It was years ago. But I will link that there. So we are going to be reviewing these two movies in tandem, kind of side by side.
Yeah. Yes, so we're doing the 1988 version, and then I guess you can also go to the next slide, Shan. Please. And 2024. So some fun like setting the scene for 1988. Just some like fun factoids I found were like the first Walmart opened in Washington, Missouri, which like I'm not a huge like Walmart person, but can you just imagine a world without Walmart? All three of us are like millennials, so 1988 was before all of our times. But so that's just like I was like that's weird for me to wrap my head around. Fashion trends involved blue eyeshadow, leg warmers, stirrup pants, oversized tops, like your quintessential 80s, you know, big hair. Microsoft sold its millionth mouse. Also, like, can you imagine a world without like computers? That's crazy.
My mind was like, rats. Okay, mouse.
uh for my theater nerds out there, Phantom of the Opera opened on Broadway, and that's like a big deal because that's the longest running Broadway show. It closed in 2023. So from 1988 to 2023, that show was on Broadway. Top 5 most popular TV shows. Tell me if you want me to edit this out. Okay. So I'm going to beat. Okay. Cosby Show. uh A Different World, Cheers, The Golden Girls, which is why I included it, and also Growing Pains. I loved Growing Pains.
These all premiered this year?
No, they were the most popular TV shows.
Oh, okay.
In 1988. Popular celebs were Christina Applegate, Candice Bergen, Naomi Campbell, Cindy Crawford, Elvira. And yeah, and I don't know, 2024, I wrote down we have Zendaya's vintage Mugler robot suit. That's my memory of 2024.
Avengers.
Okay, so the 1988, the like description or the summary, the little not summary, but
Synopsis.
yes, thank you. It says the spirits of a deceased couple are harassed by an unbearable family that has moved into their house and hire a malicious spirit to drive them out. And like versus our 2024 synopsis, which is after a family tragedy, 3 generations of the Dietz family return home to Winter River. Didn't even know that's what the neighborhood was called. Still haunted by Beetlejuice, Lydia's life is turned upside down by when her teenage daughter Astrid accidentally opens the portal to the afterlife. Ooh. It was both of the films were directed by Tim Burton, who's on our lovely screen here. Thank you, Shannon. Tim Burton did Batman, Edward Scissorhands, Batman Returns, Nightmare Before Christmas. He was a producer on Ed Wood, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Sleepy Hollow, Big Fish, Corpse Bride, Sweeney Todd, Alice in Wonderland, Dark Shadows, Big Eyes, and of course the Wednesday TV show, if anybody's watched, or Netflix series. I love Tim Burton. Do y'all like Tim Burton?
Yes.
Yes.
I
love Tim Burton. I didn't know he looked like Nicolas Cage. I had no idea. But yeah, I do love Tim Burton. Of course.
Yes. And then the 1988 movie, I did not include their photos here. The 1988 movie was written by Michael McDowell, Larry Wilson, and Warren Scarron. I think that's how you say that. And then the 2024 version, they brought back Michael McDowell, Larry Wilson. Warren, unfortunately, passed away in 1990, so they brought in Alfred Go. I also assume that's how you say that. Who's done lots of television. Looking by the looks of his IMDb. So I just kind of like did the top billing for both movies and just kind of like went down the line according to IMDb. So first we have Mr. Alec Baldwin. He has 152 credits on IMDb. So he's a working man. The movies I recognized were Working Girl and It's Complicated, and of course Beetlejuice. He's done a lot of television. Yeah.
Is this the
Alec
Baldwin
Baldwin.
30 Rock?
Sorry?
Is this the Baldwin that's on 30 Rock? Because I know there's like
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
this is the Baldwin on 30 Rock.
They don't look the same, but
they
this
do
is
not look
Batman.
the same. It's so I'm like 30 Rock. Alec Baldwin doesn't have a cute butt, but Beetlejuice Alec Baldwin has a cute butt.
And this one is not related to Haley, right?
Yeah, he's her uncle.
He's her uncle. Okay.
Yes.
I know nothing
Ireland's
about her.
dad.
I just kind of like know her name.
Oh, I forgot about that. You're right. Love
She
her.
has a smoothie at Air One.
Ireland Baldwin?
Oh no, Haley.
Oh, okay. I was like, Ireland Baldwin's the one that was like dibbled in the lady pool a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
She dated that rapper. Who's that rapper?
Young May.
No, she's black, dark skin.
Oh, Angel
Angel Hayes.
Hayes. How did I know?
Oh.
Yeah, how did you know that?
I feel like we've had this conversation. Oh my god, deja
Probably
vu.
not.
Deja vu. Actually, I think I was there. I was
Okay.
there.
Not to quote Spice World, but find a cure for deja vu. Hey. Find a cure for deja vu. Sorry.
And we can move on. Thank you, Shannon. And this
Hello,
is
Louise.
Geena Davis, who's like I know we have Winona in this movie. Oh, I skipped ahead, but like Geena Davis is also that girl, as the young people
So
say.
amazing.
Correct?
She seems so sweet. Yeah.
I know. I love Geena Davis.
Hey, what's your
and
favorite Davis movie?
Thelma and Louise.
I know she too. Or
Both those are
Girls Are
easy.
Easy.
Or the one with Madonna. There's one with Madonna.
There's one with Madonna. Oh, A League of Their Own.
Yeah.
I love that.
Or The Fly. She's in The Fly.
The
Because she dated
Fly.
Jeff Goldblum. I think they met there.
She's
They
also
did.
in Zoe Kravitz's directorial debut, Blink Twice.
Wow, y'all just said my summary for me. Thanks.
Oh.
And she's in Stuart Little.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh my God, yes.
Jonathan Lipnicki. I forgot about that movie.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, she was in Blink Twice. She was really good in that movie. She's really good in everything. We love you,
Yeah,
Gina.
she's in play. And they said that they wanted them to come back, but they wouldn't have looked 35, which is how they were supposed to look the same age.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So. Okay, I'll wait till we get into the actual movie stuff to make my comment. Next slide and star, please, Shannon. We have Michael Keaton, and I showed him in and out of makeup here. Michael Keaton, also a working man. He's done a lot. He's in Batman Returns, Spider-Man Homecoming, Birdman, and The Flash were the big movies I recognized. Did you see The Flash, Tom? I only asked Tom because I know you don't really like superhero stuff, Shan.
I did not.
You did not see it, or you did not like it?
I did not see it.
Oh, okay.
I've seen bits and pieces, but the whole Ezra Miller.
Oh, right. Oh my God. I forgot. Sorry.
No. Don't even apologize. I just wasn't, I don't know. There was just, I'm not interested in that DC, the version of DC that is that with like Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman. I just was never really into it. But yeah, The Flash. I've seen him in Birdman. I did love Birdman.
Yeah, Michael Keaton's great. Oh, fun fact, he like improvised 80% of his lines in Beetlejuice.
I love that.
The first one.
Oh, okay. I can't believe he's in his 70s. He was so active and vibrant.
Wow. Is he really? Wow.
So yeah.
It's it's funny because I was doing research for the costume designers for both films, and the costume designer for the first Beetlejuice, she's in her 80s, and the costume designer for the second Beetlejuice is in her 70s. So I think they're all around the same age. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
See, loyalty.
And that's another thing about Tim Burton. He works with a lot of the same people. So like once we get to that part in Dion Davin's report and we started talking about like the films that the costume designers have worked on, they've worked on a lot of like Tim Burton film and TV shows. So it's really cool to kind of see like the history there. But
Yeah.
fact that I just learned today, did you guys know Sammy Davis Jr. was like up to play Beetlejuice, was like considered for the role? Yeah,
Wow, that would have been such a different movie.
I know. And there's like a n- not a callback, but there's like a they say something in the movie where he's like, that's why I don't do 2 shows a night anymore. That was like a callback to Sammy Davis Jr. I don't know the specific.
Aw.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's cool. But then I just found out that he like abused his black wife while he was like sleeping on white women. So I don't know specifics about that, but I was like, damn, I can't even root for this man because he's an abuser too. Could
Yeah.
be a rumor. This is something I saw on Twitter, but the account that it came from seemed pretty reliable. So I'm gonna run with it for now. Because it was just announced that they're doing a movie, not to like sidetrack us too much, but they're doing a movie about Sammy Davis Jr. and this white lady actress. I don't remember her name, but Sydney Sweeney is going to be playing the white lady. And the robot from the new Alien movie, the robot brother, he's going to be playing Sammy Davis Jr. So I thought that was interesting. But then once that was announced, people were like, wait, he was beating on his black wife while he was fucking on white women. So yeah, maybe not, let's not praise him and put him on a pedestal. But yeah, love Michael Keaton as Batman. He's my favorite.
And Beetlejuice, right?
And
Yeah. Um. Okay. Well. Kevin. here.
just wanted to share
Here.
that with you guys. I thought it was really interesting, and I was like,
That is really no. That is really interesting. It's important that these things come to light. Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what you're finding with like biopics of like problematic people, this is what I'm talking about with the Elvis movie. It depends on who is producing it, who's paying for the story, right? Because when Elvis's camp was paying for the Elvis one with Tom Hanks, he looks like he was marching with Dr. King, like doing civil rights stuff, even though he was not doing that. But then you watch like the Sofia Coppola one that's written based on his teenage wife's memoir, and he looks like an abuser, which he probably was.
Yeah.
So it depends on who's producing the story.
Yeah.
I mean, he pursued a teenager in high school, so I think that kind of tells you about the man.
Elvis?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was 15, 13 or something. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways,
Priscilla.
Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah. Catherine O'Hara. We love. She's also that girl. Yes, we love Catherine
She's
O'Hara.
a scene stealer
She
for
really
sure.
is.
Her and William. Is it Willem Dafoe? William.
Willem Dafoe.
Okay,
Um.
Willem.
Oops,
Scene
sorry.
stealer in this movie.
Yeah,
Willem,
let's
I
just
did
take a
not.
moment to give Catherine O'Hara her flowers because honestly,
Catherine.
this movie, Home Alone, and Schitt's Creek,
Yeah.
like the 3 main things that I
Yeah.
remember her
Yeah.
from, she is just comedic genius. The timing on all of her jokes is like perfect. She gives it like her all in every role. I fucking love this
Admit
girl.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, love her.
Yeah.
She's so
They
iconic.
say I've heard like, they're talking about the 2024 Beetlejuice and Schitt's Creek that there's like overlap between her characters in both of those. I don't really watch Schitt's Creek, but it seems interesting. Do
I
y'all
haven't.
think?
I haven't either, Shannon. I haven't watched.
Oh,
I've
okay.
seen a few episodes. I've seen a few
I've
episodes.
seen
Wait,
a few. Yeah.
why? Why haven't you guys like like head dive deep into it yet?
Sitcoms everybody's obsessed with. Like, that's too many seasons. I'll do it on
I
my own time. What are you
I
telling me to watch 14 seasons of something for?
okay, to everyone's defense, because I know I started this episode. It's probably before we started recording, and I said everybody in America, well, most people in America are dumb. Yes, I believe that,
What's that to do with
but
me?
I also believe that sometimes the masses have points. So like
No,
with
I know it's good. I know it's good.
no, yeah, no, I'm saying like I was the same way with The Office and like Sex in the City. Like when it was really popular and everybody was talking about it and everybody was getting into it, I was just like, I'm not gonna just like watch a show because everyone says it's good and like everyone else is watching it. But then when I finally got around to watching it, I was like, wow, I love Michael Scott. Like I love The
Yeah.
Office. Like I'm such a basic bitch. But Schitt's Creek is another one of those shows, and it's like the episodes are short, so it's like you can get through
Mhm.
a season fairly quickly. But I have never watched a show that has hit me so hard emotionally. By the time we got to like the end of the series, I was like bawling my eyes out. There was like a documentary that
Oh,
came out that was like about, I think, the final season of the show and just like the evolution of the show. Bawled my eyes out the whole entire time. Like it was just so it was, yeah, it was one of those things where I was just like, wasn't expecting to be emotional, but the show and just like the characters and the actors and just like the passion behind all of it, like it just made me really emotional. I was like having almost a
Wow.
mental breakdown because of it. So yeah, highly recommend Schitt's Creek. It's so funny.
I've been meaning to give it another chance. Like I tried watching the first few episodes when it first came out ish, and I just like am not really into stories about like rich people being thrusted into regular life. I'm like, eh. But
Yeah.
I do love the cat. Like the actors are really good, so I'm gonna give it another chance. And I've been meaning to.
And it's very like satire. Like I don't think it tries too hard to like be something that it's not. Um, I don't know. It's hilarious. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And now that I'm talking about it, I kind of want to go back and watch it again. So if y'all start it, let me know because I might watch it again with you.
Okay.
they're the same characters.
Um, they're very similar. I think they would probably be friends. I think her character in Schitt's Creek would probably visit what's her name?
Delia.
Dila.
Delia Deets.
Delia.
Delia, yeah.
She would visit Delia's art studio a lot, I'm sure.
Okay. Okay. I like that.
They're very
Was she
similar.
the corpse? Was she the corpse
Which
bride, Annie? Sorry.
that is Sally. She was Sally in
Okay,
A Night in
Sally. My
Paris. Yeah.
bad. It's
Oh,
just
that's okay.
he loves this motif of like a sewed up woman.
Yes, I was going to talk about that when we got to the synopsis, but I saw someone say online like Tim Burton has been telling women like from the beginning that we can put ourselves back together. I liked that. Like you sew yourself
Oh.
back together because they're always doing it to themselves. And I liked
Okay.
that. I don't know if that's his
The-
intention. Maybe he
a
has a weird
detached
fetish,
leg.
but
He loves a detached leg too. Yeah.
I
but
just
I'm gonna go with the former. Also, wait,
Yeah.
I have to give a shout out to Best in Show. Have y'all seen that movie? Because
oh
Catherine
my god.
O'Hara is brilliant in that.
Also has what's her name? The makes me want a hot dog real bad.
Yes, Jennifer Coolidge. Jennifer
Jennifer
Coolidge.
Coolidge, yeah. It also has Jennifer Coolidge in it. Another great film with a great cast.
I know she should be
So
in a Tim
good.
Burton movie.
Should be like, oh, this is spooky.
Please.
Oh, you scared me. Yeah.
um,
I made a comment earlier that I want to clarify. I said this.
yes,
I meant like you know how Quentin Tarantino always has to sneak like a foot in a movie, like a woman's foot.
yes.
Tim Burton has to sneak like a woman put together in like his movies. So I was just like comparing that.
Yeah,
I know.
definitely.
I know. Yeah, it probably is more that, but I'd like to think it's a nice, empowering thing.
No, I like
Why
that too.
not?
No, I'm gonna go with that.
Okay, and then that brings us to our queen,
I know.
Winona Ryder, who's kind of like our
There.
through line through both movies. She was like, I want to say sixth on the billing for the first movie, which is crazy, but I guess she wasn't totally in the whole movie. It was more about Geena Davis and Alec Baldwin, yeah? But the second movie is like all Nona,
Mhm, mhm.
right?
It's interesting.
Um,
And I feel like in this movie, this the what we have now, 2024. I'm like, did they just kind of copy her Stranger Things character,
It
you
but like keep the
know,
same outfits?
it seems
yeah,
like it because I like rewatching the first one, but I was just gonna say it's interesting how like the two breakout stars of the movie have like the least amount of screen time. So like Beetlejuice and like Winona Ryder's Lydia. Um,
true.
I forgot what I was about to say after that. Is something I was piggybacking off of something you said, Shannon.
Okay, okay. Oh, Stranger Things.
Yes. Okay. Her character in the second movie is not the same Lydia Deetz from the first movie.
No, where's the charisma?
Yeah. Where's the
I
like?
guess she's not okay. She's traumatized. Got it. But no, I'll shut up. She is
No.
traumatized. I get that. I got that. It was very clear. She did lose a partner. She's being haunted by this ghost, this demon who tried to marry her when she was a teenager. Um, but yeah, I think what it is for me is that I wish that Jenna Ortega's character didn't hate Winona. We love Winona.
Yeah.
Why do you automatically hate her? That like immediately I was like, oh, I'm put off by this. I get that like they have to go through a journey, but I kind of wish they were friends from the beginning. Your mom's cool.
Yeah, your mom's cool. Um, Winona, just real quick, her CV credits: Heathers, Edward Scissorhands, Mermaids, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Reality Bites, Little Women, which is my favorite Little Women. Sorry, Greta Gerwig. Girl Interrupted, Black Swan, and of course Stranger Things. I had to include that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, we love
An
Nona.
Adam Sandler movie.
And an
I
Adam
forgot.
Sandler movie?
Mr. Deeds, I think. I think.
Oh, okay. Yes. Oh, yes. Obviously, her resume is way longer, but those are the ones
Yes,
that
yes.
got to me. Um, but yeah. Wait, what were you saying? I just wanted to say that really quick. Her resume. Oh well.
Mm.
Sorry. We'll edit this out.
I, I also
Okay.
state my all-time favorite Winona Ryder fact. She
What?
got caught shoplifting from like a Saks, and she was shoplifting Marc Jacobs, and then like she ended up doing a Marc Jacobs campaign. So I think it's so meta and hilarious, and yeah, I just wanted to say
It's
that.
so random of her.
I
But I
know.
remember like people were really mad at her. I'm like, he's
Yeah.
fine with it.
Right. Like he's laughing.
Random quirk that she did one time. She didn't do it all the time. I don't know. I'm not saying steal, but she's Winona Ryder. Let it go.
I also just want to know, like, why Winona?
Why
Why?
did she do that?
Right. You're Winona.
Why did she do that?
Yeah. Not
No idea.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. What Shannon was talking about the characters. Like, they made Catherine O'Hara's character say, "What happened to the little goth girl who like wouldn't leave me alone," or something like that? Remember?
And
Yeah.
Like she's like talking to Winona. Yeah. So they acknowledged she's not the same girl.
She's not a
In a
single
way.
girl.
I
Mm.
wonder if
Anyway.
it was like the studio execs, because I know that was the issue. That was an issue with the first film. Like the executives were like kind of imposing on like the creative process that Tim Burton had going. So I wonder if they were just like, let's not do an angsty middle-aged woman. Let's make her like the annoying kind of traumatized, where she's just like the complete opposite of what she was in the first movie. I don't know.
Mm, yeah.
It's kind of crazy. I feel like they don't know that she's Winona Ryder. Like, do you not notice she has a cult following? Like, this is an OG it girl. Like, she could still be in big, scary movies on screen. Her name I would go, and I think other people will go. I don't feel alone on this. She
Yeah.
is a lot of people's like inspiration when it comes to like quirky alt, spooky girls on screen. Like, she's Jenna Ortega's mom for real. Like, like that's
Right?
She's the original
she's
goth
the blueprint. Like, yeah.
in film and television. I feel like she's the original like relatable goth girl or like relatable alt girl. So like
Her, Christina Ricci. Yeah.
exactly. And I feel like in the same way that we could have like the Penguin spinoff show from the Batman, people would show up and tune in for like Winona Ryder, Lydia Deetz spinoff show, or you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
movie like standalone. Like, yes, we love Michael Keaton. Yes, he's like a great Beetlejuice, but like, come on, it's Lydia Deetz. It's
That's
when
why we were there. That's why also, guys, we saw this in 4D, which I don't think I'll do again, but we did see it
oh
in
my god,
4D.
yeah, we
We
haven't even talked about
did.
that yet.
Our
Oh my
seats
god,
were shaking, we're moving all around.
do we want to talk about our movie experience really quick? We did get to see this together, which was a beautiful experience. It was part of a double feature that we did. So we saw Blink Twice first, and then we saw Beetlejuice Beetlejuice second, and we saw Beetlejuice Beetlejuice in what was it, 4XD?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we saw it in 4XD, and it was like there was smoke and there was mist and the fucking chairs were shaking, and not just for the movie, for like the previews as well. So like the trailers had like the whole experience too, and I was over it by the end of it. I was like,
I
I
know.
finished
The end
watching.
of the previews. Okay, can I turn it off?
Our
Yeah.
chairs kept hitting us.
Yeah.
That was the worst part. It was like it felt like someone was kicking your seat really hard in the back.
Yeah, and I don't know what the
Yeah,
water did. I don't know what the water was.
the water, yeah. And like, was there smell? No, right?
I don't recall smells.
I don't
Okay.
know.
Like, I don't know. What's
There,
going on?
there is a movie
I
that's
oh, that
gonna,
does that.
they're gonna have like a smell, a thing, like a blueberry pie smell. I forgot the name of the movie, but one of the actresses from Yellow Jacket is gonna be in the movie, and it's like
Okay.
they're like two little Christian girls going door to door, spreading the word of Jesus or whatever. And they like encounter this man who invites them in. He says his wife is inside baking a pie, and then they go inside and they realize the pie is a candle. It's a scary movie, and so the theaters are gonna have select theaters are gonna have blueberry pie candle smells, which I thought was really cool and interesting. But yeah, I'll have to show you guys or send you guys a trailer after this. But yeah,
Scary. Scary.
I'm
Right.
can do, but I don't know if I would want to smell anything in Beetlejuice.
No, especially not that damn baby. Oh my God.
Ew. Yeah.
Before we leave Winona, I think people like to throw away women when they get over 30 or 40. And it's like, if we can watch Bad Boys 4 and all of those damn James Bond movies, like women over women who are not 20 can still be on screen and we can still follow them, be obsessed with them. They can lead stories. They don't have to just be moms. They're interesting on their own terms. And that's a legend. Like, treat her as such.
Yep.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I don't know if it was the producers or again, love Tim Burton, but maybe he kind of was lacking in like how to develop
Who knows?
Lydia as an adult being strong. He's great at writing strong young women, but not older women. I don't know. That's why Agatha's great. Are y'all watching Agatha? It's on Disney, but it's so good.
Is it Tim Burton?
It's not Tim Burton, but
It's not Tim Burton. Okay.
it's witchy and a coven and
Okay.
amazing. And like most of the actresses are
I'll
over
wait till it
40.
finishes. I'll wait till it finishes
Okay.
and watch it. But I did watch the one before that.
Wanda Vision.
Vishon.
Oh, yes. I to answer your question, Annie. No, I'm not watching it yet, but I do plan on it. I want to like wait till everything's out and then like
Yes.
watch it. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm waiting for. But yeah, I do plan on watching it because I love me a witchy. I love me a witchy show. I love me an older woman in a movie. Like one of my favorite
Yes.
movies is The Piano Teacher. And I'm just like, yeah, we need more unhinged older women on our screen as like leads. I want,
Show us the way. Yes.
yeah,
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah.
Agreed. And so, like I said, Winona's like our through line to the next movie, or that's how I thought of it. Because next up, I have Jenny Ortega. Jenna. I keep saying Jenny. I'm sorry. Jenna.
Oh,
Jenna Ortega.
yes.
Really love her. She's been acting. She has 48 credits.
Damn.
She's been
And she's
at
what,
it a
24?
while.
You know,
She's like 24?
What'd you say, Tom?
she's a Disney girl.
Is
Oh, I
she?
didn't know.
Yeah, she was
Oh.
on a Disney show. It's way after. It's like Gen Z's Disney
Oh,
channels.
okay.
Oh,
We had out already by that point, but I see like little clips of her, and I'm like, oh my god, she was just a little baby.
Yeah.
Disney
Wow.
Junior.
I had no idea she had been acting so long.
But I think it's just so interesting how easy it is for the Disney girls to kind of transition into like adult
Yeah.
like Hollywood, and I'm like, thank you, Miley Cyrus, thank
Yeah.
you, because
And way easier than the Nickelodeon pipeline, it seems.
oh yeah,
Nickelodeon.
Ariana Grande, Miss Ponytail.
Well, yeah. Ariana had other talents.
Yeah, that's true.
Love Jenna. She's super polished. Can't wait to see her career. She's awesome.
Yes. The movies I wrote down, like the ones I know are Scream 6, X, and of course the Wednesday series. But she was really great in all of that. She's so good. I love her. And And I did not, sorry, Willem Dafoe. I kind of ran out of fun. I did not include Willem Dafoe, but I did put Justine Theroux just because like they did try to force him to be a big part in that second movie. Sorry, is that mean? But he's like in
The
Romeo and
force.
Michelle. I know he's worked a lot as well. I don't really know a lot of his work. Romeo and Michelle though, he's in that, and I know him from a Sex and the City episode. He plays a guy that ejaculates too fast. I can also cut that out if you'd like me to.
With Samantha or with
with
Moanda?
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Okay, Moanda.
Wasn't he in
That is cruel, Shannon.
But I missed it.
Moanda.
Moanda. She's
Oh, Moanda. Was he in Mulholland Drive?
Oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe. I actually have never seen that movie. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, that is crazy. I love that movie.
I've only seen bits. Yeah.
I think I read the short story though. It's a short story, right?
Mulholland Drive?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was a short story first.
Maybe.
Oh, the 1980 no. Yeah, 1988 movie had a $15 million budget. And it sorry, $15 million budget. Thank you, Dom. And it grossed 77 million domestically, though. That's the only number I could find. And then the 2024 movie had $100 million budget. I did that on purpose that time.
I know.
And grossed 439 million worldwide.
Yeah, and we were like $60 of that. That's crazy.
See, that's why they were these fucking sequels and reboots is because they bring in money. They're like, yeah. Sorry. No, it's
because you're like, I saw this when I was young, and I'm gonna take my kids to go make them watch it, and like, it's a generational, much like the sequel, a generational.
And like Shannon was just saying, people went for Nona. People went for Nona and Michael Keaton.
Yep, and for nostalgia,
nostalgia.
Like I don't know if y'all go to Five Below, but if you go to any Five Below now, it's like half of the store is Beetlejuice.
Let me go in there. Still, it's like, is it still in theaters? It has to be, right? It's still in theaters, I bet.
Okay. Probably for Halloween.
Yeah, because we saw it a while ago.
We did.
September, yeah. I don't think it's still in theaters, but I know that, like, especially with Halloween being right around the corner, and probably today, if you're listening to this when it comes, yeah, like it's spooky season, so a lot of Beetlejuice.
Okay, that's it. That's the stats.
Okay, all right, that's the stats.
Do y'all remember watching the movie for the first time?
Beetlejuice? Mm-hmm. The first one?
Mm-hmm.
No. Right. Like I don't, but I know, like it was. I just have seen it so many times. I don't remember the first time. Isn't that sad?
No,
it's not. I don't remember. It just was a part of childhood.
Yeah. But I do remember the first time I saw Nightmare Before Christmas. I know that's not this episode, but I do.
Did you guys ever watch the animated Beetlejuice show?
I did. I own it. I don't remember what happens, but I know she goes to the school, Miss Shannon's School for Girls. I was like,
yes.
But no, I used to watch the show. It was super cute. I don't recall what happened, but I do.
I know the relationship dynamic between Lydia and Beetlejuice is different. They're best friends instead of like a
they're cool.
Yeah, predator, prey.
Right. That's fucking crazy. All right. Okay. I'm going to try to do a side by side. So they both actually do start with the shots of the house, I believe. I like that, Adam, who is
Alec Baldwin.
Alex Baldwin's character, he has made this model of the town, and so that's what we get a lot is we see Beetlejuice small, we see the town small, and then like I like when models are in things. It kind of reminds me of like Hereditary a little bit. I like that vibe. But yeah, the original opens up and they're like so excited. They're kind of boring. They're kind of a boring couple, but like they are so in love. Like they are both on vacation. He owns a store in the town. So I'm guessing he's like kind of wealthy. I don't know, it's a small town. And I guess it's close enough to New York, but they own this big house. They're excited to spend their vacation there at home and work on the house. Mhm. And the real estate agent, she has a daughter, and in the 2024 version, the daughter is now the real estate agent, or she's I think she tries to sell the house too. Um, but the original lady, Jane, she doesn't come back. But Jane is like trying to make them sell their house. It's like, why? Where are they supposed to go? It's a small town. Why can't they have a big house if they paid for it with their own money? She was super pushy, but she's there to drive the story.
I think the thing they didn't have a child, so they were
But
like,
like,
right,
so you
right.
have a house?
So she was like, I think this house is great for a family. There's a family of 4 who wants to move in, and they're offering $200,000. And they were like, bitch, get the.
No. Which is sad because they're like, oh, we can try again, which means like that they're having trouble, that they are trying. Don't remind them. And I mean, Winona does become like a surrogate daughter to them eventually because she's like showing them her grades and stuff at the end.
I love
Because
that.
she like, can we talk about her family dynamic? She doesn't like Delia, even though Delia is a cool art lady. I'm like, why don't you like her? And
Again,
Lydia.
yeah, they could have gotten along.
I
But
think
but
Leah
Delia
just
is mean. Delia is mean,
She
and her
is.
stepmom. So there's like a natural, like she probably wishes she had her mother there. Whereas it doesn't work for Ashley because I'm like, that's your mom and she's cool.
right. I think because I feel like we've seen really bad child step parent relationships in movies, especially like The Parent Trap and I'm drawing blanks on other ones, but like
Right? That's all you need to say. Meredith Blake.
Cinderella story.
Cinderella story, Cinderella.
Cinderella.
So, like
Yeah.
Ever after. Oh, Cinderella.
exactly
Yeah.
because these are the examples I was trying to think of.
It's
But
the
like
archetype. Yeah.
terrible situations, but I feel like they had a pretty decent relationship.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like two
Honestly, her and her husband had a bad relationship because it's like it obviously wasn't her choice to leave New York.
right.
And he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do, he's like in retirement mode or something."
He's like, I just want to relax.
Because even in the 2024 one, he like went off to go bird watching or something by himself, and
Mm.
that's how he met his end. And they said apparently like he died by shark bite, and that's one of Tim Burton's biggest fears. So that was put in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you want
Timmy.
to touch on why the actor wasn't in the movie?
I was gonna
You
ask
guys,
y'all the same thing.
y'all could Google it. Y'all probably know. And like
That's true. Yeah, you can Google it.
everybody's been talking about it. But and then it's also like Astrid was like so upset that he died. Like, you liked your grandpa?
I know. They also
Everybody,
made
but
they made Catherine O'Hara's character way more like in love with him post-mortem.
yeah,
Yeah.
Is that the
yeah.
right word? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but he did die.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think it's interesting though, like both of these things are happening at the same time. So we have like this era of like reboots and like sequels and all the things, but then we also have like this simultaneously thing of like men being exposed for their bad behavior and the like terrible illegal things that they do in their career and like all the times they've taken advantage of their power. So it's interesting how like a property like Beetlejuice can like evolve with both of these things at the same time. It's just interesting because it's not like an isolated event. Like this has happened in other things, in other
Mhm.
movies, TV shows,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
rebooted or recast it because of bad behavior of like men who don't know how to behave.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and that wasn't even the story. That was the actor who did that on his off time. Yeah.
Mm.
Um, yes, I agree. I agree. Okay, setting up 2024, we see that Lydia is now a supernatural TV talk show host, and I thought that was really, really smart. I was like, oh, that's clever as hell. But she's like really frigid and scared because she is being haunted by Beetlejuice. She keeps seeing him everywhere, which is kind of funny. Uh, and that's where we meet Justin Theroux, and he's her over he's like all up in her
Fairy?
business. He's her
Yeah.
manager. He's her manager too, right?
Yeah. Manager boyfriend. Ooh.
Manager boyfriend, which is so fucking messed up. What was Mariah Carey's first husband? He's like him.
Oh my God. Yeah.
He's like him. And so she's there, she's like in there, and she like has a big freak out, and they have to like stop the whole taping so that she can calm down. And that's where she finds out that she gets a call from Delia, and that's where she finds out that her dad passed away. And in the 2024 one, they do say that Lydia's mom is still alive, her birth mom's still alive. Um, but oh my God, interestingly enough, there's a musical I haven't seen. There's a Beetlejuice musical, and in that one, teenage Lydia, is like going into the world, into the afterworld to like find her dead mother in the musical. So they kind of borrowed that here, but we get that with her ex-husband.
Mm.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Going back to the 1988 one.
Oh,
The Maitlands.
all right.
Yes.
I wanted to call out the first red flag I think that we get from Justin Theroux's
Justin.
character is whenever he like pours Lydia's pills down the drain or like tries to prevent her from taking it.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, that,
Yeah, not good. Those are
yeah,
probably some antipsychotic pills.
exactly that she
She
needs.
needs those.
That is probably like based on something real, like people who are controlling you behind the scenes
Mm-hmm.
and like trying to make you do something that you don't want to do for their benefit.
Mm-hmm.
So back to the original, the OG, the Maitlands, they went to the store, they owned, and they end up getting in a car crash, and they wake up in their house and they can't like leave it. Or did they walk back to the house? I think they end up home and they just realize that they can't leave home. They both end up falling out of it at different times, and that's where we see the worm people, which I was like, what came first, Dune or Beetlejuice? Dune. Dune came first, you guys. But we have like, the sand and the big worms.
War worm
Um, and they also get the handbook for the recently diseased.
deceased.
Thank you. um,
I like
yeah,
that
so
he
they
did that throughout the movie too, because he would like, well, I guess when he said Beetlegeist, that was like correct, but he'd be like Beetlegeist, and she was like Beetlejuice.
yeah. Yeah, I like that it's spelled differently and nobody ever tells us why. And that's why I was like, oh, is this an original idea or was this like a folk tale? I think it's an original idea.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm not searching any further though to to back up my
Yeah,
claims, but I
yeah, don't
think
I
to ruin
ruin the
them.
mystique.
idea that Tim Burton had, but he got writers to write the story. And he
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He wasn't one of the writers. You are correct.
But he has like the vision for other things. I like his style,
Yes.
So yeah, after they die, they just really wanted that vacation at home to fix up their house. But here comes that other couple that moves in with Lydia and the Dietzes, and of course Delia wants to, oh my God, can somebody do the if you don't let me cut this house, I will take you with me or whatever.
I will go and see it, and I'm taking you with me. You know what? He could use a little bit of
Oh, she's so
I
good.
she
I
was.
fucking love her. And it's like she's supposed to be like, it says she's an artist of questionable talent, I guess because her agent even calls her like flaky and like that nobody buys her work, but her work was cool. And
It is cool.
she seems very 80s and like new wave. Like it seemed like I wasn't there in the 80s, but it seems like it would have been cool then. So I'm like, damn, why they call her flaky? She works hard. Just hard work woman.
I love her. I'm not a fan of her work.
Really?
I was not a fan of her
Yeah.
sculptures.
Of her sculptures. Yeah.
The That's my
She's like,
sculpture.
my art is dangerous. I don't want to die this way.
Right. Open up, you dead people, or I'm gonna come in there and take you out by the noose you hung yourself.
Oh, can I say? If she was supposed to be from New York, she would have been impressed by the closet size,
Right.
not insulting it.
She's like, oh my God, counter space in the kitchen. Cabinets. Yeah.
But also, she's rich though, so maybe not. Maybe she's
Yeah,
used
and it's
to.
like
She probably knocked down She
A
probably had.
wall.
Yeah, she probably
She
knocked
had a
down.
penthouse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
made a closet out of.
Okay.
It's like, was she independently wealthy or was Mr. Deeds like paying for her art career? Was he funding her art career?
They're probably both nepo babies.
When she licked them.
She licked him?
Yeah, y'all don't remember that?
Oh, yes,
yeah.
innocently. Yes. Girl. JB. Okay. Um, yes, so her and her interior designer, Otho, who's also an exorcist, right? Is what he ends up being. I like him. He's in Heathers, right? He's the pastor in Heathers.
Oh my god. Oh my god, is he?
I think he's like the pastor or priest in Heathers. He's like,
thought-
they don't have MTV in heaven, or something like that. I don't know the lines.
Why wasn't he in Beetlejuice? Why?
Oh,
He
I
might
don't
have
know.
allegations against him too. That's not.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
yeah. And sorry, I wasn't trying to gloss over what you said. Honestly,
Oh.
the plot for Beetlejuice is pretty simple. Like the Maitlands don't want the Dietzes in their house. Really, Delia. They don't want Delia changing the way it looks, and like they want to live there in peace, and they have to be there for 125 years. So they have to learn how to haunt them out, and they ended up getting Beetlejuice involved in it. We can touch back, but that's really the basic plot of the first movie. But the second movie, I feel like there's a lot going on that we touch on quickly. How do you guys feel?
I feel like the pacing, the story, like you said, it was simple, straight to the point, but it was good. And the pacing was really good too. It was like an hour and 33 minutes. Where I feel like the second one had a lot going on. There was like a main plot, and then there was like subplots, and then like everything was just like happening at once, and like it was all going so fast. And then like, yeah, it was just like a lot.
Mhm.
That's how I feel.
And the 4D is like moving us around.
Yeah.
40 chairs are moving us around.
Punching us. No, but right before we recorded, I watched it again with Shy, and this was the first time he was seeing it, and he kind of put it perfectly. He was like, they're relying a lot on nostalgia
Yeah.
in this one.
Damn.
The first,
Mic
yeah.
drop.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Which they are, because you guys are both right. Yeah. There's a lot going on, and I feel like they were just like, there was something else similar to this, or I thought like, okay, someone's behind the scenes going, oh, they liked this, oh, they liked this, oh, it was Jurassic Park. That's not a fair comparison, but one of the newest Jurassic Parks, I like saw it just because I like those movies, but it was so bad, and you could just tell someone that doesn't do writing was like, you gotta put this in because the audiences will like that, and you gotta put this in because it's in every movie. Not that
Yeah.
this has a million movies, but you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Damn.
And this wasn't the original plot for a sequel. Like, I think back
Okay.
oh,
the sequel was greenlit as soon as the first one was super successful and did really
Oh my
well.
God.
And I believe, if I'm remembering this correctly, the original sequel was going to be like set in Hawaii.
yes, I saw this.
Yeah, and it was going to be like a Hawaiian setting, and I don't remember the plot, but it was going to be like completely
South
different.
Hawaii.
Yeah,
Oh,
It was called like Beetlejuice on the Beach or something.
something like that.
oh.
But yeah, I
With
think it's
with the cast, with the original cast?
Well, at least Lydia and Beetlejuice, yeah.
yeah, and it was going to have the the guy that we were just talking about who was in Heathers. He was going to be
Oh.
Otho.
main character.
Otho.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's interesting. But I think that like I feel like if they would have taken more time to like really perfect the story, Beetlejuice would have been a far better movie, but I agree that it was like relying heavily on nostalgia, and it wasn't great. I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't think it was a great movie, but I enjoyed it because it's like we get more Lydia, we get more Dietz family, we get more Beetlejuice, but it was like the story was kind of ass.
I
Yeah.
I agree. As he said, ass.
It was ass.
I agree, and I love Tim Burton. I'd love to be in a project. I love you so much. But yeah, it wasn't. I prefer Beetlejuice, of course. I guess let's talk about some of the plots. Well, this is one that I think we could have lost, this first one, because they didn't let her speak. This is the woman who Beetlejuice's first wife. So we see her, she
We're
finds her finger or something, like something with the finger, because it's a callback to the original when Beetlejuice gives Lydia a ring and it's got a finger on it. It was her finger. It was her finger.
like, she meant.
Um, huh?
I think he goes like, she meant nothing to me, babe.
Right. Yeah, her story is like they got married when he was a gravedigger in Italy, and she was a part of a death cult and tried to kill him to join the cult, I guess. But she's a soul sucker, so I guess that's so they could say that blowjob
She's
joke.
an ex-wife.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Zombie bride.
But
Ex-wife.
yes, he loves a corpse bride. He loves a corpse bride. But
Oh my god.
apparently she's Tim Burton's girlfriend.
Yes.
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 So
And
But
a former Bond girl.
she's
yes.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Just like let her.
And she
She
was in the
didn't say
Matrix.
anything. She barely said anything.
She was in the Matrix 2 and 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, 2 and 3, 2 and 3. I don't remember those as well.
Imagine Tim
So
Burton.
yeah.
What?
I said, imagine Tim Burton did Mean Girls. Because we did
Okay. I don't know what you said. I was like, oh my god.
the Zombie
I
Bride.
would like
An
that. It'd probably be
ex-wife.
Heather's. Something like Heather's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Sorry, we can.
Yes, so her story's short. She's basically chasing him the whole movie, and she ends up going with Justin Theroux, but not like dating him. They die together, but they just go to the afterlife again. Um, so the next storyline that we get Astrid and the dead boy. Did y'all see this coming in the theaters?
No.
Like, yes and no. Like at first I was like, I get bad vibes. But then I
And I know my
am
bad vibe.
yeah, I'm so susceptible, which is not
Mhm.
good. But at first I was like, oh, are we gonna get a Casper thing? Like when they were floating in the air together, I was like,
Oh
oh,
yeah, I
it's
love
kind of like Casper.
Yeah,
But then when he was bad, I was like, oh, okay, no. What
I
yeah.
do you think, Shan? Oh, sorry, I thought or one of you. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I originally thought his parents were the couple from the first movie. Just and
Me
immediately
too.
I was like, oh, did they go to a new house and have a son? Like, is that what's going on here? But then when they didn't turn around, I was like, something's fishy. And then we find out that they're dead. I was like, okay, school shooter.
Right? Evan Peters, horror house, monster house,
Yeah.
whatever, murder house. Sorry,
You know what's
murder
funny?
house.
I actually, I just thrifted that, so I have it right here.
Oh wow.
Evan Peters. Yeah.
Mhm.
Rewatch imminent. But yeah.
Yes. Okay, I'll set him up a little bit more. So Astrid ends up meeting him after she flees her grandpa's funeral, which I did like that the house was in mourning and had the veil over it. She flees the house because her mom got engaged to Justin Theroux, right? Yeah. And she's like riding the bike through the town, which is a throwback to Lydia. And she sees him, he's outside, and he's like, oh my God, you read books? It was something like that. She quoted a book, and he's like, I can't believe you read Dostoevsky. He's like, that's that's number 3. That's actually strike 3. That's the first thing you said was strike 3. Like, you gotta leave.
Before
Like,
that, she ran into the tree. Remember, we get that scene, that iconic.
yeah, yeah. It's like he
Slamming
lives in
into
this small town. She's in a fancy boarding school. Like, yeah, she reads. He died in the 90s. Even- Anyway, so she's with him and he like lures her back to the house for Halloween. Um and gets her to like say an incantation, which I was like, okay, maybe you're not smart here. I don't think I would read things in, was it in Latin or something? The
Yeah, something like
incantation. I
that.
don't think I would be
Or
reading that.
like, riddle-ish.
Yeah. So, but Astrid, how did you guys feel about Astrid? Because it's like she's like obsessed with her dad, and like he ran off to Brazil. Like he shirked his responsibilities. Like, why is he your favorite? But of course he passed away, so that she does have that attachment to him. And there was something else where like Lydia can see ghosts, but she can't see her ex-husband. And I think that Astrid thinks it's on purpose that she can't see him. It's some kind of like she feels like it's like out of spite or something.
Yeah. I thought Jenna Ortega did a really good job playing a Gen
Of course, yeah.
Zer.
It's the script. It's not her performance. It's the script. I'm like, what?
Right, yeah. I
I
just
think
wish we would get away from this trope of like teenagers hate their parents. Like, I get it. Like that's the case, you know, sometimes, but not everybody does.
Yeah.
In
right.
fact, like
Yeah.
I really liked what did I see? Like Shrink. No, it was Ted Lasso. There's a teenage
Okay.
girl on there and she like loves her mom. And I just thought
Aw.
that's
And
great. And like that's how it should be.
Yeah.
teens do we do kind of tend to like act how we think that media teaches you, right? It teaches you how to be. So like if that's all they're being exposed to, of course they might start doing that. So we could show better relationships between parents and teens. It'd be nice.
Yeah.
Like no parents aren't cool, but you don't have to like hate their guts.
Hate them. Yeah.
but like Shannon and Dom have both said multiple times, Lydia was cool.
Lydia was cool.
Yeah.
Because I think in certain contexts it works where you have a child who dislikes their parents. Like I think in the context of like Big Little Lies, a show like that. Like, yeah, if your parents are terrible, horrible people or like selfish people, like yeah, hate them. But like Lydia is like this artistic, sensitive, goth writer, photographer, artist girl,
Show host. Yeah.
who would know what it feels like to like be
Be the
other,
other. Yeah.
a good relationship with a parent. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I feel like the grief is a big part of her angst. And I mean, that does make sense
It
that she'd be
does.
like struggling with that. I guess we can kind of touch on we can do the through line of that. So he ends up taking her to I was gonna say the Netherlands, the other world. Um, and he's gonna like do a swaparoo for her to go to hell. Is that it? Or just to the other life, not the
Just
neutral
Wait,
place?
so he
yeah.
gets to go back to Earth, like Earth as a
Okay.
human,
But is she going to hell?
and like hell, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just like
That's really evil. Yeah. Well, okay, so she's like in there and being marched through when they do the swap, and she sees her dad. Um, and this is a small note, but he had the fish on him, and I'm like, is this the fish's afterlife? Like, are they? But yeah, he has a fish on him, so which is a really cool costume. He it's kind of working where like Winona gets there just in time for her to go through the door, and she has to call Beetlejuice to help her, and she ends up losing Beetlejuice, and her and the dad save Astrid really quickly. It wraps up really quickly. And then they're in the worm world together, and they get to like have that final moment with her dad, and then she makes up with her mom, and that's when they get swept off to the final scene, which I'll save. I think that wraps that up. And the other guy goes to hell. He goes somewhere flaming. He does not get on the soul train. The floor opens up, and he killed his parents. That's really dark.
Yeah. This would have worked better, I think, as a limited series. Because then you could have like
Yeah.
stretched the stories out, really like got into like the ins and outs of everything. But yeah, I just felt
Yeah.
rushed as like all of these stories happening in one movie.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
Let's see, what's the third? Another storyline is Willem Dafoe, and he's like I guess that goes with the wife though. He's like trying to catch the wife and Beetlejuice. He's trying to catch both of them.
Both of them.
Also shout out to Danny DeVito. He did great.
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito, I love your work.
Right. Yes. And I also like the little guy with the shrunken head, and like he's like Beetlejuice was like he was freelancing in the first one. Now he like has a full operation. It's like capitalism never stops, you know.
Not even in the
Even
afterlife.
Right. Hmm. Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
want
that's Willem
to when
Dafoe.
I just want to be dead. I don't want to work.
Right. Right? No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So I guess this brings us back to Lydia is supposed to marry Justine Theroux's character, but she also Beetlejuice has never given up on marrying her for whatever. He had that picture of her as a teen on his desk. Like, okay, well, I'm glad. I don't like that he has a picture of her as a teen, but I'm glad he didn't like. I'm glad they didn't transfer it to like he loves Jenna Ortega's character. I wouldn't like that either. But he for whatever reason is obsessed with Lydia, and he wants to marry her. That was the deal for saving Astrid, but the final scene where we're wrapping it up, we get a lot. Everything is coming through at once. Willem Dafoe shows up. His first wife shows up. I think they're supposed to be marrying Justine Theroux in this scene, and then like all the attendees like get sucked into their phones. I'm like, oh, is that a metaphor for like common day people? Like it's that damn phone, like we're stuck in our phone. uh and we're about to wrap it up, like they're about to get married. Beetlejuice does, like, he makes Justine Theroux tell his truth, which was that they met at a grief group, but he never lost a wife. He was just there to meet someone codependent, and that's where he took her, and like he wants to marry her for her money. Which I like the Justine Theroux storyline because that seems real. And he ends up making him say all that stuff, and then the wife comes, and that's when he gets the worms to eat them, which sends them to the waiting room of the afterlife. And I do want to say, somewhere in between this, Delia dies.
Oh yeah, she like bought asps that were supposed to be defanged for her husband's like funeral, but then she like holds them up and they weren't defanged, and they bit her in the neck.
She dies.
She dies, and there's a good chunk where she's like, "I'm not dead. Who can I?" She's trying to like speak to the manager.
But she wakes up in the waiting room and immediately knows that's the afterlife. I was like, how did she know that? Because the other ones had to be told they were dead and all that.
Oh,
but
true.
Apparently she recognized it and she just knows. She ends up at the wedding too.
She's been dealing with those dead people for a long time. So I'm sure just like, word of mouth and hearing stories, she's probably like, oh, damn it.
And we didn't touch on the Soul Train. It's like, oh, this is the most Black people I've seen on a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah.
and they had to play into a stereotype too.
Say again?
I said, and they had to play into a stereotype too. At least we got the 70s stereotype, and it was like disco, Soul Train, not like, niggas in the hood selling dope, Crips and Bloods and the, stuff.
Boys in the afterlife.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you in the hood now. You in the
No. Anyways, so yeah, Delia ends up back at the wedding just so they can hug. I think she like tells them that she's passed. But before that, she's about to marry Beetlejuice, but Astrid saves her because of like legalese, like the contract. She's like, no, it says here that blah blah blah. And so they're able to send him back to wherever.
Prenup.
Yes. And it wraps up with Jenna Ortega's character giving birth to that evil baby that keeps coming back, which was actually very scary. I will say that's an update that was scary to me.
And one I could have done without, actually.
Right. Because was that real? I thought that was a dream.
It was a dream. Yeah. But still, I could have done
it. They say that's his inner child.
Okay, well, he can inner kill it. Airport.
Yeah. Yes.
It was
Yes.
odd. It was odd. Yeah.
Oh, and it says Lydia ends her show to spend more time with Astrid. Well, damn. I guess she probably is inheriting the Dietz's
Boo
wealth.
bucks.
So
Yeah.
she doesn't need to do that anymore. I do love that they get together at the end, of course. Yeah, I guess which plot lines would you keep and would you change anything? Just quickly, nothing, not to think too deeply about it.
May I?
Yeah. Go.
Yeah.
Honestly, like from the very start, like I was with you, Shannon. I thought it was super clever that she would have her own ghost show. I wish we kind of
Mhm.
followed her around with that, and that her and Astrid got along, and then like somehow Beetlejuice did get intertwined and reintroduced that way. Yeah, I wish it was more focused on that.
Yeah.
I don't know what they would have done with it, but it's the
I
best part of
think
the movie to
I
me.
think they thought we loved sassy teenagers, but that wasn't it.
Nah,
Because Winona was charming too. She
she
was charming to the
was.
Maitlands. She was charming to them.
Exactly. She wasn't a little shit. She was just like not into her big
Yeah.
Yeah.
her
Delia
mom.
gave lip, she gave it back. And that's pretty
Yeah.
much it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree with Annie. I think they had a really interesting thing going in the beginning with the TV show. And I think even like towards the end when the people are in the church and they get sucked into their phone, I think it would have been really cool to kind of incorporate like how Beetlejuice would be in like a digital world or a world full of reality television. Um, I think they could have done something really interesting with that and kept the story with Astrid and her dead boyfriend. Because I did like
Mhm.
that story. I
I
thought that
did too. It needed more time, I
it
think.
did. It did. So I think those are the two things I would keep, and then everything else I'm just like,
I
didn't.
know.
Yeah.
I'll bring the ex-wife back for Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Because it's a cool concept.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, third time's a charm. I'm an
Yeah.
ex-wife. I can't do it without the fake teeth.
Your
I know.
mom's just here. Yeah. Yes. Love them girls. Well, that was my plot summary for Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, and Beetlejuice.
Okay, are we ready for Dion Davin's report?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. This is our little section where we talk about the costume designer and yeah, just get into some of the fashion of the film. So for Beetlejuice, just one, we have costume designer Aggie Gerard Rogers. And so we have her here on the right, but I also included uh Carrie Fisher. Is that her name?
Yes.
Carrie Fisher in her slutty sex slave outfit, which I think is what our costume designer is most known for. Um,
Oh.
yeah. So I wanted to include that because I was like, this is like such an iconic look. And as someone who's not a fan of Star Wars, anytime I think of Star Wars, I think of this outfit. And then the I don't even know her name, but with the white face and the red lip.
Princess Amidala.
Yep, that one. So yeah, we can go to the next slide. Okay, so she is most known for, of course, Star Wars episode VI. What episode is that?
VI
6.
is 6.
Six? Okay, episode 6, Return of the Jedi from 1983. She's also known for The Color Purple from 1985, which,
That's crazy.
yeah, and this actually got her nominated for Best Costume Design at the Academy Awards.
Shug had really nice clothes. Yeah, they all had really nice clothes. Like they're nice clothes. Yeah.
Yeah. She's also known for Rent, Holes.
Wow.
Yep. So we can actually go to the next
Madame Zeroni. Oh my god.
slide.
Whoa. I haven't thought about that movie in so long.
Yeah. So we can go to the next slide. We we have
Oh my gosh.
so we have Holes and we have Raise Your Voice, which she was the costume designer for, which I thought was really interesting. Of course, Raise Your Voice is the infamous Hilary Duff movie where she has that like
Infamous.
acapella.
And they're like, whoa, she's really good.
She's really good. That acapella thing where she's obviously not singing. cinematic masterpiece. I love that. Um,
I
so
love
yeah,
her
she's
outfits.
the costume designer for both of these, but she was also the costume designer for The Witches of Eastwick from 1987, Pee-wee's Big Adventure from 1985,
Wow.
mhm, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest from 1975, and then of course Beetlejuice from 1988. And we can go to the next slide.
Oh, Geena.
Yeah, so these are some of the looks, some of the most iconic looks from Beetlejuice. What I found most interesting when doing research about the costume design for this movie is that a lot of things were off the rack. So she talks
Hmm.
about like at the beginning of shooting, whenever she was, doing fittings with Winona, they would go to like different stores, like different thrift stores and stuff like that, and kind of look at different racks and pull different pieces together. um, and this red dress that is one of the most iconic, well-known dresses from Beetlejuice is actually basically the same dress that I don't remember her name in the movie, I'm like blanking, uh the actress.
Uh,
Wait, what?
Geena
I'm sorry.
Davis?
Gina
Uh-huh.
Davis?
Geena Davis, yes. So it's
Right.
the same wedding dress that they're wearing. They went to the
Oh.
same,
Oh,
yeah, went to the same wedding shop. And honestly, when watching it, the dresses look different to me, but I think there's like little differences. And then of course, Lydia's is red. So I thought that was really cool.
Oh,
Um,
wow, yeah.
yeah, but a lot of the outfits were like off the rack. And so it's so interesting that this movie came out in 1988 because you look at it and it like obviously is an 80s movie and the fashion and even the set design is so 80s, but like Annie said in the beginning, what was really popular at the time were like leg warmers, oversized t-shirts, big hair, and like a
neon.
little bit of that in Beetlejuice, but like it's not so overtly like trendy 80s. It's very like kind
It's
of,
new wave, New York, artsy club kid,
yeah,
you
and
know,
I uh,
postmodern.
exactly. And I think like Gina Davis, her character, like I think her style would be
Yeah.
considered nowadays like cottagecore. Like
Yeah.
all
Mm.
girls would be like, "Oh, the Gina Davis dress from Beetlejuice, like my cottagecore look." Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. Um, at the end of the movie, when we have Winona Ryder doing her little dance with her schoolgirl uniform, she actually was the one who brought the petticoat to put under her plaid school skirt. This was like something she brought from home and something she kind of incorporated into like the character's personal style, which I thought was really cool. But yeah, I love. We've kind of talked about it the entire episode, but I just love the personal style of Lydia Dietz and how like goth, but kind of like it's almost like a casual goth. Like it's nothing too crazy.
Goth scholar, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's very like monochromatic. There's not a lot of prints. There's not a lot of like patterns. It's just like straight up black. You get some lace. You get some like stuff. Like she wears like when they're eating Chinese food towards the beginning of the movie, where she has like the big hat with the little veil over it. Like so chic, so meta, and just so cool. And I think this is one of the first times, if not the first time, we get like a goth character in
Yeah.
film.
Mainstream. Yeah.
So that was kind of like super next level for 1988, which I think is so cool. What were some of y'all's favorite looks from the movie, or do you have like one specific one?
Catherine O'Hara, when they are moving the sculptures into the house in the 1980s, she has a
Sure.
white long sleeve and one sleeve is black. And she wears something similar in the remake, it's like a jacket or something with black and white. But I just love her commitment to the black white palette.
And I like
And
how, oh, sorry.
I love the updated Lydia too with the docs and like, okay, she got money. She's cool. But like still holding on to her true essence. Yeah.
And I like that Catherine O'Hara's character is like, she does a thing with like one, like she does something on one side that she doesn't do to the other. So like the dinner scene when they're dancing to Deo, she has like one leather glove on. and the other hand doesn't have a glove on.
Oh, so Michael Jackson. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even connect to Michael Jackson. I just thought she was a super cool art lady who does funky stuff like that. So I thought that was really cool. And how we got 2 moments where she does like something on one arm that she doesn't do to the other arm. Yeah, what about you, Annie?
I actually think it's funny that you brought up Gina Davis's like cottagecore dress, because that I just was thinking that the whole time. I was like, I love that it was like a drop waist, which you don't really see drop waist dresses anymore. Yeah, I think that's what I want that dress. Yeah.
I love it. I obviously love the red dress. I think it's so great. And I just the contrast of like the goth black hair with the bangs and the like all red dress and the red makeup. I just think that's perfect. But I also love when she's wearing like the big hat. I think it's the outfit that she's wearing when they first move into the house and she's like taking all the pictures.
I
Yeah,
do love that hat.
it's so good. It's
And
so
if we're talking about dead people, I love Miss Argentina.
Oh, is she the
Yes.
one working the
Miss
receptionist?
Tea.
Yes, yes. That'd be a cool costume if
That would
anybody wants to. Yeah.
I wouldn't have had my little. Oh, I shouldn't do that. Sorry. That's not really a Denajo, huh? Also, you know what? I like Beetlejuice's suit. I would wear it.
Yeah, it's iconic.
I would
It's
wear it.
iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what makes it like a cult following, right? An iconic image that you can recreate. Yeah.
Because you can do so many things with it. It's like green hair and stripes. Like if you have the green hair, you have the stripes, it's gonna give Beetlejuice. Even if you don't have the green hair, if you just have the stripes worn in the right way, it's gonna give Beetlejuice.
I think
So
I'm giving referee, but yeah.
it's giving refer juice.
Refer.
Beetlery. All right, now we can talk about Beetlejuice. All right, so our costume designer for Beetlejuice, her name is Colleen Atwood. Um, she actually has 4 Academy Awards under her belt.
I
She,
feel like I've heard of her.
yeah, she's worked with, oh my God, Tim Burton. Went blank. She's worked with Tim Burton a lot, so she has a lot of credits working as a costume designer for a lot of her films. I'll just go down the list that I wrote. So she was a costume designer for, and we can actually go to the next slide. She
Oh
was,
shit.
yeah, so she was a costume designer for Edward Scissorhands from 1990, Sweeney Todd from 2007, Memoirs of a Geisha from 2005,
Wow.
Wow.
2002 Chicago,
Oh.
Wow.
yeah,
These are
1990.
strong costumed movies.
Yes, very much so. Sleepy Hollow from 1999.
Yeah. Yes.
Actually also has a iconic striped outfit in it. Christina Ricci's character wears a black and white striped dress that's actually so yeah, homegirl loves her
Wow.
stripes and we love her stripes. She was also the costume designer for Silence of the Lambs from 1991.
Wow.
Yep. Mars Attacks, which also a amazingly costumed film. A Series of Unfortunate Events, which is that
Wow, yeah, yeah.
Jim Carrey movie.
So she has all the cult classics, kind of
Yeah,
campy
wow.
horror movies.
It
Yep.
can't be goth, right?
Yeah, campy goth, yeah.
Yeah, yes, because she also did Alice in Wonderland and the sequel Alice Through the Looking Glass from 2016. She did 2018's Tomb Raider.
Damn, Laura Croft.
Yeah. She did all 3 Fantastic Beast movies, so the one from 2016, 2018, and 2022.
Oh.
She did Into
Okay,
the
I was like, is that stop motion? That's another movie. Sorry, I was thinking of the
No, I
Fox.
think those Harry Potter spin-off movies.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ezra Miller's in those. Yeah.
And Zoe Kravitz.
She
Uh,
is.
Yeah.
Yes, she
uh,
is.
she has a British accent. Um, do y'all remember Beloved, that movie with Oprah?
I'm reading it right now. I own the movie. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I'm like studying it. So yes, she did Beloved.
She did Beloved. She was a costume designer for Beloved.
That's
Wow.
crazy. And the other lady did The Color Purple. Like those are very
Yes. Black.
beloved black movie black stories. Yeah.
Hell.
But Tim Burton.
That movie traumatized me. I thought as a kid, I
Yeah,
mm-mm.
no, it's scary. The book's
Call
scary.
me, call me after you watch it, Shannon. I want to talk about it. Little Women. Annie, you're gonna love this one. She was a costume designer for 1994's Little Women with Winona Ryder.
So
Yeah.
good.
She did Dumbo from 2019. We can go to the next slide.
Is that Michael Keaton? I heard them say that they didn't enjoy working on Dumbo. They didn't have as much freedom. I think Tim Burton also worked on Dumbo and Michael Keaton, and they didn't have as much freedom. So they're like, oh, Beetlejuice is where they have their freedom back again. I was listening to something earlier that said that.
Mm.
Oh,
Andy
do they
Newton's
really?
daughter is in it.
Hmm.
Andy Newton, her daughter, is in
Oh,
Dumbo.
Andy. Okay.
Oh,
I
okay.
never saw Dumbo. I don't even know.
I've never seen
Uh,
it, but I know who's
it's
in it.
live action? It's live action?
It is live action. And it's
I
like,
never even,
I would not do that to myself again. I saw it once when I was a kid. Mm-mm.
I don't even remember that story. He just had big
It's
ears?
sad. It's sad.
Okay.
Yes,
It's
American.
like
they take
Bambi.
him away from his mother. Mm.
Yeah,
Uh, Disney and mothers.
Mm.
sad. Um, but yes, she's also done one of my favorite movies, The Little Mermaid, 2023's,
That's
as
crazy.
well as 2024's Beetlejuice. Um, and I know we normally only do movies when talking about costume designers, but I also wanted to call out a couple other things that she's done. So for TV, she's done obviously Wednesday with Jenna Ortega,
Nice.
costume designer for most of those episodes. And interestingly enough, she was also a costume designer for one episode of High Fidelity from 2020 with Zoe Kravitz,
Which we reviewed.
Wow.
which we reviewed.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wow.
yes, and I think the most
We'll
interesting,
link that episode too in the notes.
I think the most interesting thing that she's done that I found was she was the costume designer for the Black Parade by My Chemical Romance.
Shut
Stop.
up. What can't she do? Her bag is deep.
Wow.
No,
Her bag is deep. So I wonder if Gerard was like, who does no, she didn't do the original Beetlejuice.
no.
Okay, so I guess he's seen her other stuff and he's like, oh, I want to work with blah.
I'm
Wow.
because like so okay, so the Black Parade came out in 2006. Around that time, she had done Chicago in 2002, Memoirs of a Geisha in 2005. In the 90s, she did Sleepy Hollow. Maybe it was Sleepy Hollow. That was like,
Yeah.
I want you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
There's probably
yes.
like a goth directory. He
it's
was
a
in there.
Which, how do we get in that? I would love to be in that
Right?
phone book.
I volunteer as tribute.
that would
Yeah.
be so much fun. But yeah, Miss Colleen Atwood has a lot of credits under her name. And I don't think that I've mentioned the movies that she won Academy Awards for, but I'll go ahead and do that now. So she has 4 Academy Awards. The first one that she won was in 2002 for Best Costume Design for Chicago. And then she won in 2005 for Memoirs of a Geisha. And then again in 2010 for Alice in Wonderland. And then the last time that she won an Academy Award for costume design was the first Fantastic Beast movies from 2016.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Do you get to give a speech when you win costume? Yeah, right? It's
I
not
think,
televised?
Yeah,
yeah, I think they do get to give a speech, but it's not televised. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Oh,
think sometimes it is because I remember the costume
okay.
designer that won for Black Panther. I think I remember her speech.
Oh,
Okay.
well, there you go. Maybe
I
the bigger the movie or something. I don't know.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we can go to the next slide.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So I was reading some interviews with the costume designer, and I want to say specifically what interview it was so I can cite it correctly, but she was talking to somebody who was asking her about the process designing this movie since she wasn't the costume designer for the first movie. And the interviewer was kind of asking, like, did you go back and, reuse certain prints or patterns or, kind of source out some of the things that were used in the first film? And she was saying, like, no, I used the first film basically as like inspiration and drew upon like where these characters would be today, because even though Beetlejuice is 35 or 36 years after the original from 1988. The
Damn.
story takes place only about 15 years after the 1988 film. So this is supposed to be like a 15-year kind of difference.
What?
Yeah.
So what time period? It's not 2024?
I don't I feel
It's
like
2000. It's in the 2000s? Early 2010s?
that wouldn't make sense with the iPhones, right? Because
So no, because that would mean that she had a baby right away
I know
at 15.
Yeah.
I
Because Astrid's 15 or 18 or something.
Older, yeah.
and maybe I'm misquoting, maybe I read it wrong, but I'm pretty sure they were saying like it's only supposed to be like about 15 years.
Huh.
So I don't know what that was about, but
Hmm.
yeah. But yeah, anyway, she was saying that like the approach that she had to costume in this film was different because I don't think they did like off the rack like they did back in the day. Because she was saying like costume designing a movie in 1988 is way different than costume designing a movie, what I'm assuming was 2023. So she was saying the whole process was just differently. For Jenna Ortega's character, Astrid specifically, she kind of wanted to go for more of a like 90s grunge kind of look for Astrid. So very much inspired by like the grunge movement of the 90s back in like Washington. Um, which I think you can kind of see in her personal style throughout the movie. And then of course we have Lydia Dietz who kept her kind of goth aesthetic and her little fringe bangs that we all know and love. Um, and then of course Catherine O'Hara's character, she kept with that eccentric, over the top kind of artsy. It's not art ho, but it's not art grandma. It's like art lady, art
Yeah.
art baddie.
Our tour.
Cool. Yes.
Kidding.
And then I love what she did with Justin Theroux's character. I feel like it's
I
not
know.
often that we see just like a cool fashion dude. I feel like the last time we've seen someone at this level of like coolness when it comes to personal style is maybe like Neo and The Matrix.
I was just about to say that, yeah.
Between like the all black outfits and the big coats, the long trench coat, the sunglasses, the cool slick back hair, he just has like a coolness to him that I don't think we get to see a lot of times on screen. Like I would love for like the style that Justin Theroux's character has to be like a Bond guy, like
Ooh.
like a fashion dude, like Bond dude kind of situation, like a Bond baddie, but like a
It's
dude.
almost like it's like
Steampunk?
towing. Yes, it's like towing the line of steampunk, and I do like it.
Yes, yes,
Colors.
very much that. And William Defoe's character, I was reading about her inspiration for that, and she was saying she was very inspired by like old detective like
Mm.
things between like the long trench coats and kind of just like that like I don't remember the words that she used to describe it, but like it was a very specific um inspo that she pulled from, and I was like, yeah, nailed it, nailed it. We can go to the next
You're whispering every time.
slide. But yeah, so of course we got the iconic Beetlejuice striped uh suit. It's a suit, right? That's what it's called. I'm losing words.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had the striped suit again, of course. But we also get this really cool red suit at the end when he marries or he's trying to marry Lydia. And then of course we get another red wedding gown for
Wedding gown, yeah.
which is very different from the original. It's like a more
Mhm.
modernized version, which I appreciated. I'm glad they stuck with the same color and just kind of updated it a little bit because, yeah, Lydia Dietz doesn't seem like the type of woman who would have a modern wedding gown or anything like that. So, um, yeah, I think overall, I appreciate what they did with these characters and how they kept them really rooted and like who they were in the original film, and then kind of gave us like a modern take on something like grunge for Jenna Ortega's character. Um, and then of course Beetlejuice's first love, his first lady wife or whoever she was, I forgot. Um, I love like that vintage sexy dress situation thing that she has going. The way that it moved whenever she was just like going throughout the film and just like sucking the lives out of guys. I just thought she looked gorgeous, and the makeup and the staples in the face, the long flowy hair. She's just a gorgeous woman as it is. So I think adding that like spooky layer to it just really worked for this film. But yeah, that's Dion Davin's report for Beetlejuice and Beetlejuice. But I'm curious, what were your favorite looks from the sequel?
Mm.
Or do you have a favorite look from the sequel?
I really liked the photo you just shared of Lydia Deese's Winona's like very Matrix looking like long jacket. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Shannon. That's really cool. And then I actually really liked her first outfit. We didn't really see much of it, right? With the
It was
little
so,
like lace right here.
it reminded me of Elvira.
Yeah,
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 I liked it. I liked it. So that's
yeah.
para mí.
I like the corpse. I like Monica Bellucci. Is that her name? Is it her?
Yes,
Monica
absolutely.
Bellucci.
Yes.
Her outfit was really, really cool. Because I think it's like she dyes it black, like she touches it and it's black.
Oh, yes, you're
Oh,
right.
It's like,
Yes.
she's Latina.
no, she's not.
I
She's
know. I just
Italian. He just wanted to say it. Oh my gosh.
oh my god! And you know what we haven't said in a really long time?
What? I'm scared. Oh God, I know.
What is it? Probably
Unique.
not taking on purpose.
Unique.
Oh,
Oh,
that's not
okay.
what I was
Okay.
thinking.
Oh
Don't, whatever it is, don't say it. Text it later.
no, say it. I want to know.
Something about
Oh, okay.
squirting.
Oh, squirrel.
Oh, Annie. Anyways, what was your favorite look?
I think Beetlejuice would win in the squirt off, to be honest.
Oh my God. See, I'm sorry.
The worms.
Ew.
Not the boar worm.
Ew.
Have y'all seen that T.S. Madison video of the boar worms? Of her quoting that movie? Okay, I gotta send it to you after this. My favorite look was the Lydia Deetz Elvira inspired looks from the beginning of the movie where she's doing her like ooh, spooky TV show.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's gonna be my favorite. And then of course the updated red wedding dress. I love the red wedding dress. So yeah, those are my favorites.
A red wedding. Isn't that a song?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there another? Is there? All right. Well, that was our episode. We are going to put the links to the original Beetlejuice review as well as High Fidelity. Also, another announcement: we are going to be dropping some calendars. We're still figuring out the logistics of that, but we will. Maybe the link will be in there by the time this is posted. That would be great. Any other announcements from anybody else?
Just happy Halloween. Everyone be safe. Don't drink and drive. Call a friend, call a Lyft, call an Uber. But yeah, thanks for listening and tuning in and hanging out with us. We love y'all.
Love y'all. And as RuPaul would say, you better vote.
Bitch.
Please vote.
That's right around the corner.
Please vote. Unless you're voting for who, then stay home.
Yeah. I voted today. It was great. It was a great
Yes.
feeling. I did the damn
Vote.
thing. Mama La Harris, we're gonna get you an office girl.
Yes.
Yay! Thanks for listening. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.
Yes, and we
Yes, 5 stars only. Thank you.
will see y'all next time.